Hey, this is Tracy Kaywood with Property M.O.B, the makers of Badass Investors. And I'm here for you today to talk about the pros and cons of having a real estate license as an investor. If you haven't asked yourself already, you probably will sometime in your career if you should get a real estate license and become a realtor. Now, I've had my real estate license since 1998. That was the same year that Dan and I started wholesaling. And I was so hungry to learn everything that I could about the real estate business that I thought having a license would actually benefit me. I really didn't know which direction I was going to take at that time. I just knew that the real estate business was very fascinating and I needed to learn, every aspect of it possible that was deemed possible. So I took the pre-licensing course and I got my license. And I hung my license with Watson Realty Corporation, which is the market leader here in Jacksonville, Florida. I chose them mainly because they had a success school, which was training to get you ready for the professional world of becoming a realtor. And I thought I needed that. I didn't realize, or I didn't know at that time, that realtors were not very creative. They're very inside the box. But I took the training, and it actually was, it was good information. But once I started commingling with the other realtors in either that company, in my office, or other agents, cross sales, I started to realize that this was definitely not the avenue for me. It was not the path that I was going to take as my career, my profession in the real estate business of being a realtor. It just not wasn't designed for my type of thinking. I like to think outside of the box and do things different than everybody else. So licensed, the more I realized that there are pros and cons to having a license as a real estate investor. And as with anything we deal with in our life, it's not, everything that you think it is. So you have to weigh the differences and then make a decision based on your tolerance for the negatives. So I've made a list, the top reasons not to have a real estate license and the top reasons you should have a real estate license as a real estate investor. And I tried to come up with as many as I could, but I can only come up with, I think, six reasons not to have a real estate license and 7 reasons you should have a real estate license as an investor. So in no particular order, I will tell you about them. And these are the reasons not to have a license. Number 1, the annual fees. It's probably the biggest complaint that I hear from agents that are investors, that they have to pay so much money each year to maintain their license. Actually, the fees are they cost me about $1,200 or $1,500. That's for your local board fees and your MLS and your national fees and lockbox keys and all that good stuff. I actually pay for an assistant as well. So not a whole lot of money, but, I guess if you looking at it from writing a check for just to be a realtor, it could be deemed as expensive. I don't know. But anyway, it is a negative of having a real estate license. There are benefits to being a member, though, if there's a lot of education, training, and stuff like that. So number 2 is disclosing the fact that you're licensed to your clients, either your buyers or your sellers. You have to do that. I know it is required in the state of Florida, but it's not required in your marketing. You have to. Now, I've definitely double-checked on this with the legal department. You have to disclose that you're licensed before you enter into a contract with them. So it doesn't have to be on your marketing, and I see a lot of investors making the mistake of disclosing that fact in their marketing, and that's not required. Good little tip for you realtors who are putting that in your marketing as an investor. You don't have to do that. Number 3, the continuing education and maintenance of your license. You have to do that here in Florida, it's every 2 years. You have to do 14 hours of continuing education and pay renewal fees on your license. I'm sure that's, similar everywhere in the country for maintaining your real estate license. You also got to watch out for brokers that caravan or have floor duty. If you don't really want to get into the mix of realtor stuff, then you want to avoid the brokers who have that as a requirement to be part of their office. All of the political and bureaucratic bullshit that comes along with having a real estate license, and trust me, there is a lot of it. Behind the scenes, it's kind of governmental type organization. It is a nonprofit organization, but the realtors, that is, of course, your local board is for profit. Your MLS, not your local board. But anyway, lots of political, bureaucratic bullshit. And the main reason not, to me, in my opinion, not to have a license is you got to deal with the idiot realtors. I mean, there's so many. There's a lot more who just don't get it. They don't understand our business. And wow, they're just amazingly, I don't want to be rude, but the idiot realtors are the worst when it comes to dealing with, having a license and being an investor and trying to talk to them about this business. Because sometimes, you run across it where they ask questions, you have to explain it. If you're very involved in your business, then you will come into, cross communications with another agent. And man, it's bad. Okay. So, and now the 7 reasons you should have a real estate license. We like to stick with the positives. Obviously, for me, they have outweighed the negatives because I've been licensed since 1998. So, I've had my license for about 14 years, and I don't plan on giving it up. To me, the reasons you should have definitely outweigh the reasons you should not have one. In no particular order, again. Positives, you have access to the MLS for comps and all of your market data. Nowhere else do I know of that you can get the information that you can get from your local MLS. Number 2, the ability to find your own deals. If you're short on marketing money, or your budget's tight, or you just want to add an additional campaign, the MLS has motivated sellers all in there. They're not as obvious because they don't, come to you in an attempt to get their house so quickly. They're using a realtor because they don't know. Sometimes they don't know there are investors out there who will pay cash for their house and make it really simple. So they are on the MLS. You can use a search criteria such as motivated sellers or handyman special, things like that, to send offers out. And, you don't have to bother a realtor with all of the offers and, adding them into your campaign. You can do it yourself or hire your virtual assistant to do that. Number 3, the ability to list your own contracts. An assignment of contract can be listed on the MLS as long as, the proper requirements are disclosed to the seller. And with your local board, you want to check with your local board to make sure that is allowed. And if you buy the properties in your own name and you want to sell them, you're certainly, being a realtor, you can list your own properties and save on the commission. You still have to pay the selling agent the commission, but you still save on the listing side. Number 4, you won't be ignorant to the laws of your state, and that is a excellent, benefit to have. So many investors just know the business of doing deals. They don't know the laws of real estate, so they can get themselves into trouble if they don't know what the laws are in their state. So it's a good thing. You definitely stay up to date and stay informed with any latest changes to the statutes. Okay, number 4, you can fill your income gaps in with realtor activity. So if you're in a slow time for wholesaling and you want to make some extra money, you can always convert over to, traditional sales or traditional listings, and that certainly is a way to fill in those gaps of income or just add additional income streams. Or another reason, you can refer any leads that are not going to be part of your investment plan, motivated sellers or cash buyers, over to another agent. Let them take care of them, and you just get the referral fee when their deal closes. So a good way to just, not lose income opportunities on those leads, and you can pass them off to be taken care of and still make money off of them. And the last reason that I have is in exactly what I did, is that you eventually have the opportunity to become your own broker and open your own office. I didn't do that to hire agents, but you certainly can do that. I did it primarily to be under my own thumb, so to speak. I like to be my own boss, make my own rules, and keep 100% of my commission check. So that's for the ambitious investors only who want to kind of play, you wear two different hats. You have the investor hat, and then you have the realtor hat, so you definitely have to keep those, separated. Always keep them separated. In everything you do, marketing, transactions, clientele, everything should be separate. So anyway, there you have it. Obviously, these reasons are just my opinion. You could probably ask another investor who's also licensed in here, a whole different list of reasons, but I think this is an excellent display of the top reasons to have or not have a license if you're an investor. If you have any questions for me, you can go to my website, propertymob.com, click on Ask a Question, or you can leave a comment right on the website, propertymob.com, or on the YouTube channel. Any way that you want to ask is fine. Any question related to the wholesaling business or this video that I've talked about. I'm here to help you succeed as a real estate wholesaler. So hope to talk to you soon, and we'll check you later.